What if I told you that right here in Singapore, one of the most urbanized cities in the world, there are forgotten reservoirs, hidden villages, and eerie mythological parks that most locals have never stepped foot in? This isn't your typical travel guide. These are places whispered about in niche forums and tagged under obscure hashtags. They're the kind of spots that don't show up on top 10 lists, yet leave you wondering, how does nobody know about this? Ever heard of a hilltop reservoir that disappeared from maps? Or an abandoned colonial barracks turned into a contemporary art hub? Or what about the last remaining village nestled within one of the world's most high-tech cities? In this video, we're going on a journey to uncover 10 hidden places in Singapore that even most Singaporeans don't know exist. Whether you're a curious traveler, a bored local looking for something new, or just someone who loves secret spots, this one's for you. By the end, you won't just have a list of stunning places. You'll gain a whole new perspective on what this island city really holds. Let's unlock the mysterious, the forgotten, and the unreal side of Singapore. Abandoned Keppel Hill Reservoir. Hidden behind lush greenery and long forgotten trails lies the Keppel Hill Reservoir, a place so secret it was erased from official maps for decades. Originally built in the early 1900s, this small body of water was once used to supply nearby dockyards and hospitals. But over time it was abandoned, reclaimed by nature, and lost to memory, until urban explorers stumbled upon it in the early 2000s. Getting there isn't straightforward. There are no signs, no paths, and certainly no crowds. You have to know what you're looking for. And once you find it, it feels like stepping into a forgotten world. The city noise disappears. You're surrounded by dense jungle, still waters, and the remains of colonial infrastructure. Some say it's haunted. Others call it sacred. All agree. It's one of the most surreal and peaceful escapes in Singapore. There's even a small, rusted diving board still perched above the water, untouched, like a moment frozen in time. No fences, no concrete, just nature and nostalgia. If you've ever wanted to discover a side of Singapore frozen in history, Keppel Hill Reservoir is your portal. And the best part? It's hiding just minutes from Harbourfront's chaos. Bukit Brown Cemetery. Singapore's most mysterious open-air museum isn't a gallery, it's a cemetery. Welcome to Bukit Brown, the largest Chinese cemetery outside of China, and one of the oldest burial grounds in Singapore. Tucked between expressways and modern developments, this place holds more than 100,000 tombs, some dating back to the 1800s. But don't be fooled, this isn't just about graves. Bukit Brown is a living archive of forgotten stories, intricate stone carvings, and untouched forest trails. Many of Singapore's pioneers are buried here, and their tombs reflect the wealth, architecture, and culture of their time. As you walk through, you'll find guardian statues covered in moss, hidden trails branching into jungle, and epic tombstones that feel like mini temples. No filters needed. Every corner is photogenic and hauntingly beautiful. The air is thick with history. Some say they've seen shadows. Others come to birdwatch or simply enjoy the silence. In a city known for sleek skyscrapers and high-speed living, Bukit Brown feels like a time capsule, one that's slowly being reclaimed by both nature and memory. If you're into ghost stories, heritage, or just places that make your spine tingle, this stop will absolutely give you chills. Section 3. Pearls Hill City Park, 200 words. Just a stone's throw from Chinatown, hidden behind rows of old apartments, lies a hilltop sanctuary that almost no one talks about, Pearls Hill City Park. This serene green space sits atop an actual reservoir, and yet it remains one of Singapore's most underrated parks. While Fort Canning and Botanic Gardens are buzzing with visitors, Pearls Hill feels like your own secret garden in the heart of the city. As you climb the stairs or take the winding paths upward, the noise of the city fades. What greets you at the top is a view that's strangely cinematic. Tall, silent trees, quiet ponds, chirping birds, and concrete benches frozen in time. It's not flashy, and that's what makes it magical. Joggers are rare. Tourists are even rarer. It's the kind of place you'd bring a book, a camera, or just your thoughts, and leave with a little more clarity. The park's isolation isn't accidental. It was once a restricted zone surrounding a protected water reservoir. Now, it's an urban relic with the quiet dignity of forgotten importance. Want to feel like you've stepped into a quiet Miyazaki film set in Singapore? Pearl's Hill City Park is your poetic, peaceful escape. Yunnan Garden. Tucked away in the western corner of Singapore at NTU's campus lies a garden so beautiful, it feels like it was teleported from another era. Welcome to Yunnan Garden. Originally built in the 1950s, this garden is more than a pretty spot for students. It's a carefully preserved slice of Chinese heritage, blending classical aesthetics with modern landscaping. Think stone bridges, willow trees, koi ponds, and intricate pavilions, all framed by misty hills and poetic stillness. The best part? Hardly anyone outside of the university even knows it exists. Unlike most parks in Singapore, Yunnan Garden isn't just green, it's rich. Every path, every rock placement seems designed to make you pause. Whether it's a carved quote by Confucius or a hidden staircase leading to a peaceful lotus pond, there's something deeply intentional about the space. Birdsong echoes between the pagodas. Dragonflies skim across the water. The breeze carries a calm that makes the modern world feel miles away. If you've ever wanted to step into a Chinese ink painting brought to life, this is your chance. Yunnan Garden isn't just a hidden gem. It's a cultural time machine wrapped in tranquil serenity. Dakota Crescent. Nestled in the heart of Singapore's old Kallang Airport estate is Dakota Crescent, one of the country's oldest public housing estates and a living memory lane of pre-HDB architecture. Built in 1958, this quiet cluster of low-rise blocks features iconic elements long gone from modern estates. Vintage spiral staircases, dove playgrounds, and unpretentious void decks where time seems to have slowed down. This isn't your average retro throwback. Dakota Crescent carries the mood of a neighborhood left behind, where stories still echo from stairwells, and elderly residents sit outside chatting like it's still 1975. Some of the original flats remain occupied, while others stand empty, their corridors hauntingly quiet. The government had plans to redevelop the area, but a passionate movement by conservationists and history lovers delayed that fate. It's a place where memories are embedded in the walls, and the scent of old coffee shops lingers in the breeze. Photographers, filmmakers, and nostalgia seekers love this spot for its raw, untouched charm. Every corner feels like a frame from a local indie film. Dakota Crescent is not just a neighborhood, it's one of Singapore's last time capsules. Come soon, though, because its future is still uncertain. Kampong Lorong Buangkok, in a city of glass towers and smart homes, there's one place where time genuinely stood still. Kampong Lorong Buangkok, the last surviving kampong on mainland Singapore. Tucked away in the Hogang area, this tiny village looks like a movie set from the 1960s. Wooden houses, zinc roofs, chickens roaming freely, and neighbors who actually talk to each other. It's not a recreated attraction, it's real and people still live here. Built in 1956, the kampong has about 24 homes, all on land privately owned by a family that refused to sell out to development. And because of that, it remains untouched. A snapshot of Singapore's humble beginnings. Walking through its narrow paths, you'll hear birds, the occasional radio playing in Hokkien, and laughter drifting out of open windows. No air conditioning, no concrete jungle, just humanity in its simplest form. What's most surreal? You're minutes away from modern buildings, but it feels like you've traveled decades into the past. If you want to experience what life was like before high-rises, MRTs, and mega malls, Kampong Lorong Buangkok is your last and only chance. It's not just a place. It's living history on borrowed time. Gillman Barracks, at first glance, Gillman Barracks might look like just another set of colonial buildings. But step inside, and you'll find one of Singapore's most unexpected mashups. Military history turned into a buzzing contemporary art zone. Built in the 1930s for the British infantry, the barracks once housed soldiers and their families. Today, it's a creative enclave featuring independent galleries, design studios, artist residencies, and quirky cafes, all nestled in quiet greenery just off Alexandra Road. The vibe is unlike anything else in the city, serene, slightly eerie, and intellectually rich. You can walk from one gallery to another, experiencing everything from provocative installations to bold street art, with history literally built into the walls around you. Even if you're not into art, the contrast here is powerful. Jungle meets minimalism. Past meets present. Soldiers' quarters now showcase global exhibitions that question everything from politics to identity and beyond. Few people think to come here unless they're in the art scene. But that's the point. Gilman Barracks is for the explorers, the thinkers, the ones who appreciate the strange beauty and contradictions. It's not just a detour. It's a dialogue between then and now waiting to be discovered. Haw Par Villa. Welcome to Haw Par Villa, Singapore's weirdest, wildest, and most underrated theme park. This is where ancient Chinese folklore meets full-blown fever dream. Built in 1937 by the creators of Tiger Balm, this surreal park was designed to teach moral lessons through vivid storytelling. But what you get is something far more unforgettable. Over 1,000 statues and dioramas portraying scenes from Chinese mythology, Confucian values, Buddhist teachings, and even terrifying punishments in the afterlife. Yes, that includes the infamous 10 Courts of Hell, a graphic walkthrough of what happens to sinners, complete with blood, demons, dismemberment, and truly unforgettable visuals. It's unsettling, fascinating, and one of a kind. But Haw Par Villa isn't just about shock value. It's a psychedelic archive of East Asian stories, values, and philosophy, all told through wildly imaginative sculptures and blazing technicolor. There's nowhere else like it on the planet. Tourists often skip it. Locals rarely return. But if you're into the bizarre, the symbolic, or just want content that'll blow up your feed, this is your gold mine. It's part moral education, part hallucination, and 100% original. Haw Par Villa is Singapore's strangest treasure, and it's begging to be rediscovered. Tampines Eco Green. In the midst of HDB blocks and shopping malls, Tampines Eco Green is the quiet revolution no one talks about. A nature park with zero artificial lighting, zero manicured lawns, and zero concrete paths. This isn't your average Singapore park. There are no playgrounds, no street lamps, and definitely no Wi-Fi. Instead, you'll find winding trails made of gravel and grass, open freshwater wetlands, secondary forests, and bird-filled marshes that feel like they belong in another country entirely. The design is intentional, to keep the environment as untouched as possible. It's a haven for bird watchers, photographers, and anyone seeking solitude. You might spot a woodpecker, a heron, or even a monitor lizard slipping silently through the undergrowth. Visit during sunrise or just after a rainfall, and it's pure magic. The mist rolls in, the air smells wild and earthy, and all you hear is nature. No engines, no chatter, just life. It's not a place for crowds. It's for slow walks, quiet thoughts, and rediscovering stillness. The irony? It's just 5 minutes from one of Singapore's busiest MRT stations. But once you're inside, the city disappears. Tampines Eco Green is a reset button, hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to notice. The Southern Ridges Walk. If you think Singapore is just steel and shopping malls, the Southern Ridges Walk will blow your mind. Stretching across 10 kilometers of elevated walkways, lush forests, and sweeping sky bridges, this trail connects parks like Mount Faber, Telok Blangah Hill, and Kent Ridge, forming one of the most scenic, uninterrupted green corridors in the city. But what makes it special isn't just the views, it's the sheer contrast. 1 minute you're crossing the iconic Henderson Waves, Singapore's highest pedestrian bridge, with skyline views that rival postcards. The next, you're in the middle of dense secondary forest, surrounded by bird song and the rustling of leaves. You'll pass through canopy walks, elevated trails, hidden pavilions, and heritage trees that have watched the city grow around them. Most locals have walked a part of it, but few have explored the entire stretch. And that's a shame, because each segment has its own story, its own vibe, and its own view of Singapore. Whether you're chasing golden hour photos, a peaceful morning jog, or a full-on nature escape, the Southern Ridges delivers. It's not just a trail, it's a journey through Singapore's soul, where city and jungle shake hands. To sum it up. So the next time someone tells you Singapore is too small to explore, send them this list. From forgotten reservoirs and surreal theme parks to silent forests and vintage housing estates, this city is filled with hidden corners that most people will never see. And that's what makes them so magical. You don't need to hop on a plane to find adventure. Sometimes all it takes is the courage to turn down a quiet path, step off the usual route, and look at your own backyard like a traveler would. Maybe you'll find a mossy statue. Maybe a kampong chicken will cross your path. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll rediscover what made you fall in love with Singapore in the first place. The contrast, the culture, and the calm between the chaos. And now it's your turn. Which of these places have you visited? Which one are you dying to check out? Or did we miss your favorite secret spot? Drop it in the comments, and let's build the ultimate insider's map of Singapore together. If this video gave you a new lens on the city, hit that like button, subscribe.